The Last Tsar of Russia by April Givens. Nicholas II was born May 18, 1868, in Pushkin, Russia, as Nikolai Alexandrovich Romanov. He was born to Alexander Alexandrovich, heir to the Russian Empire, and Maria Fyodorovna from Denmark. He was brought up with conservative religious values and belief in autocratic government. He was educated by private tutors. He excelled in history and foreign languages, but ironically struggled with politics and economics. He joined the army at the age of 19 and eventually rose to the rank of colonel. He inherited the throne in 1894 when his father, Alexander III, died from kidney failure. He did not feel up to the task since he had been poorly trained in state affairs. He married Princess Alexandra Hesse-Darmstadt within 1 month of his father's death. The couple had 5 children, 4 girls, Olga, Tatiana, Maria, and Anastasia, followed by the long-awaited heir to the throne, Alexei. Nicholas II was officially crowned Tsar of Russia in 1896. During the coronation, a public celebration near Moscow turned to tragedy as thousands of people were trampled to death. He did not want to attend the coronation ball later that evening, but was encouraged by his uncles to go. This did not make a good impression on his citizens. When Alexei, Nicholas II's son, was diagnosed with hemophilia, they were desperate to find effective treatment and allowed the monk Rasputin to treat the boy after many failed attempts by doctors. Rasputin appeared to be the only person that was able to help the boy, and Nicholas II and especially his wife put much trust in Rasputin. He became an advisor to the Romanovs, and they became even more unpopular as a result. By the turn of the 20th century, Russia had expanded in the Far East, clashing with Japan over territory in China. War began in 1904 when Japan attacked the Russian fleet in Port Arthur. Port Arthur fell to the Japanese after 9 months of resistance. Nicholas II was urged by family members to call for peace, but he was intent on driving Japan out of Manchuria. Once the Russian fleet was destroyed in the Battle of Tsushima, he finally decided to pursue peace. The war ended with the Treaty of Portsmouth. On January 5, 1905, Russian workers tried to march to the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg in protest, requesting that Nicholas II improve working conditions and establish an assembly. Russian troops opened fire and reportedly killed over 1,000 people. This day came to be known as Bloody Sunday. It was later reported that only 130 people had actually been killed. Nicholas II had not even been in St. Petersburg under the advisement of his senior officials. Revolution broke out after Bloody Sunday as workers went on strike. Thousands of uprisings took place but were suppressed by troops. Nicholas II eventually conceded to creating an elected legislature called the Duma. Nicholas II's relationship with the Duma was very poor, and he resisted government reform by the Duma. In July 1914, Russia was thrust into World War I due to being an ally to Serbia in the Austro-Serbian conflict. Although Nicholas II had been pushing for peace, he mobilized his army. He insisted he wouldn't attack if peace talks began. Germany asked Russia to demobilize or they would go to war, but Russia did not. War began August 1, 1914. Germany handily defeated Russia. With Russia's defeat in World War I and high economic inflation with extreme poverty, everyone blamed Nicholas II for his poor military decisions and accused the Empress Alexandra of being sympathetic to her German homeland and even sabotaging Russia during the war. Riots broke out in St. Petersburg in February 1917. The Duma prevented Nicholas from returning home from Mogilev, where he had been headquartered. His soldiers mutinied against him, and he was forced to abdicate the throne March 15, 1917. He and his family were evacuated to the Ural Mountains in August 1917, where they lived comfortably until March 1918, when they were placed on soldiers' rations by the Bolsheviks who had seized power from the provisional government. On April 30th, 1918, the Romanovs were transferred to Yekaterinburg and imprisoned. On July 18th, 1918, the Romanovs were led to the basement of the Ipatiev house they were being held in and shot by a firing squad of Bolsheviks under Vladimir Lenin. This ended 3 centuries of Romanov dynasty rule.